Mai used to believe that evil only existed in stories, until one day it found a way into her home. It didn't begin with shadows or whispers. It began quietly. Every day, just after Asar, her mother would fall asleep. Not gradually, not naturally. It was sudden, like something inside her had been switched off. They tried to wake her. They called her name, shook her gently, even raised their voices, but nothing worked. She wouldn't move. She wouldn't respond. She wouldn't wake up. Then, as the sun disappeared and Maghrib arrived, her eyes would open, slowly. But something was wrong. She didn't look at them the same way. Her expression was empty, like the person they knew hadn't come back with her. At first, it was subtle. Her fingers would begin to move, slowly, delicately, almost beautifully. Then her arms followed, rising, bending, flowing through the air, in movements that were too precise, too controlled to be random. It looked like a dance, but there was no music, no rhythm anyone could hear. Her head would tilt slightly, her eyes unfocused, as if she wasn't in that room anymore, as if she was somewhere else, somewhere old. This continued every night. From Maghrib until Subuh. Sometimes she would sit completely still. Other times, her body would react suddenly, her head snapping toward empty corners, as if something had entered the room, something no one else could see. Then the house began to change. One night, Mai's father lay in bed, his door slightly open, just enough to see the darkness outside. And in that narrow gap, something stared back at him. A pair of red eyes, unblinking, watching. It didn't move. It didn't blink. It just stayed there, as if it had always been watching. Another night, Mai's husband tried to help. He approached her mother slowly, carefully, calling out to her. Then suddenly, her body snapped toward him, and in an instant, he was thrown backward, as if struck by something invisible. His body hit the floor nearly a meter away, and just like that, she went still again. That was when they knew. This was no longer something they could face alone. They called in ustads. Prayers filled the house, verses echoed through the rooms. But during the sessions, her mother would scream, not in pain, but in anger. Her voice changing, becoming something sinister, something that didn't belong to her. Then one night, during one of her trance episodes, she suddenly froze. Her body went completely still. Then slowly, she raised her hand and pointed, not at the wall, not at the darkness, but at Mai's younger sister, more specifically, at the image printed on her shirt. A bear, the same bear that had been sitting quietly in their home. That was the moment everything changed. Because it wasn't random anymore. It was connected, driven by fear. They acted immediately. They took the bear and tore it apart, every stitch, every layer, destroyed. They thought that would end it. That very night, the house changed. The air felt heavier, harder to breathe. Following advice from the ustads, they spread coarse salt around the house, doorways, windows, every corner. Then, they heard it. A step, then another, then many. Footsteps, walking across the salt. Not one presence, but many, moving, circling, inside the house. That was when they understood. There was not just one entity, but more than they can imagine. Her mother spoke again, slowly, softly, but in a tone more urgent and fearful. She said, "It was angry that they had destroyed what belonged to it, and it made a promise to Mai's mother. It would make her suffer." On the advice of the ustads, Mai's mother should not sleep between Asar and Maghrib. Some months passed, 5 to 6 months along. Everything seemed back to normal, and Mai was pregnant with first child. Then suddenly, everything changed. Something went wrong. The doctors couldn't explain it, only that something wasn't right. And Mai lost her child, but it didn't feel like peace. Because deep down, they all knew. It didn't leave for no reason. Some things don't stay forever. They only stay until they take what they came for. And sometimes, the danger doesn't come from the unseen, but from the people around us. Be careful of the intentions others carry. Not everything given with a smile comes with good intentions. Because even today, there are those who still turn to darkness. Black magic is not just a story of the past. It still exists. Protect yourself. Stay aware. And when things go beyond understanding, seek protection from the Almighty.